Good morning. It's just before dawn here in the Rocky Mountains. I'm up around 7,000 feet and it's still right before sunrise. And then I know that at sunrise, because I can start to feel it right now already, the wind will start to pick up a little bit. And there's two little snippets just wanted to share with you. First of all, well, actually three that are coming to mind as I'm having my tea. Light, light, light. Recently, I've been experiencing this transmission of the body is a star. And yesterday had the amazing experience of gathering in person with 9 other Gene Keys contemplators. And in that experience, there was a collective contemplation of light through movement and dance and asana and pranayama, the art of union, as we've been talking. And it's the first time we got to share that. And so often when I'm sharing something just like now, things just spontaneously come through in the transmission. And toward the end of the gathering, it was about an hour of embodiment practices. And right toward the end, the song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine, came on. And I had this impulse to invite each of us to directly experience our bodies and ourselves as creation, as light. Light meaning awareness, light meaning creation, light meaning the possibility of revealing and transmitting our true nature through being, to being. And so at one point I felt everyone start to glow and the whole space start to glow, and that glowing like intermingle with one another like a weave, and felt the synergy and the communion come to life through that 26th and 45th essence. And then I felt the transition into the 11 of light. And suddenly we all became shooting stars, like dancing and passing by one another as cosmic beings, as light beings, both physical and also dissolving into oneness, dissolving into invisibility. And then I came back here, back to where I'm staying in Boulder, Colorado area, and arrived, and I saw Orion's belt like out in the sky, and it was so clear. And I know that if you follow Orion's belt down the 3 to the bottom, there's a star that I always call the party star or the disco star. And this star is Sirius. It's the dog star, also called the dog star. And I was looking at Sirius and watching it sparkle like colors, like red and blue and green and white, like kind of like Christmas lights. It was so cool because it was a little bit low on the horizon. And suddenly this shooting star just came right across. And I was like, whoa, there it is, like the real thing out in life, like the transmission coming through. And then I looked to the side and there was another one. And then I came inside. I was like, there's a celestial dance happening, come out. And we went out, and I guess there's supposed to be right now a meteor shower. I didn't know. So take the time to look and see about that. Yeah. So this is my SQ, meaning that place where when I was in the womb, Venus was. Venus is a special star, a special planet that shows up as light in our sky. And I feel being, I guess, a Taurus, I don't know, I just have a lot of connection with Venus. Venus has transmitted a lot of support to me through recognizing fears and how to go into and beyond fears. So Venus was in the 11th gene key, 88 days before I was born, when the design gets established. We look at human design and also in gene keys, and that's called your SQ, or those first 7 years of life from the moment of birth until when you're 7. And it's the inner child, it's magical child, and it's the path of idealism. And often my idealism ends up being something that is challenging. I have the 6th line there, and when we're going to be incarnating and involving ideals, things that are of light into the form, it takes physical time, and timeless time. It's challenging for the human form to face patience, to have that. And so when I was a child with this 6th line in the 11th gene key, one of the wounds was that I didn't have an experience of enough time and space to really become and be who I am. There's always this sense of being rushed, of like it's has to be more efficient instead of full absorption and allowing it to take the time it takes. So one of my ideals that I'm attending to right now is the ideal of harmonious community of coherence, a humming team on earth, true teamwork. My 44 of evolution is humming with my 11 right in that central place, in that path of breakthrough. That 44 of teamwork is humming with the 11 and coming through that light into the 13, which is, listening through love. So how to establish that, in and through the body. And I'm finding that meeting with others, both online, but also definitely in the body, is allowing me to stretch, to literally stretch. Ooh, I just heard it. I think it's a hummingbird. That's my, I can't imagine it's a hummingbird. Maybe it's just a morning bird. So cool to see the dawn. Oh my gosh, I wish I could share with you the colors. All these amazing colors. It's so beautiful. Yeah, so light is us. Light is us dancing together as celestial beings, as physical beings. And so just continuing to open my heart and mind and open my patience in this ring of light to the capacity for us to gather physically. And I'm sending a blessing out to a week from now, where at the sunset we will be gathering to close this year of moving from the longest night into the longest night again. We're going to be celebrating the solstice here in Boulder. If you happen to be in the area, you're welcome. Please send me a message, and I'd be happy to invite you to this beautiful ritual that we're going to do on the beach in a stone circle with a big drum and with lighting, basically carrying all the memories and the experiences of the year we've had, this 2025 year in our bodies, and dropping it right into the center, into the deepest, darkest chalice of our yin being, and allowing that seed to ignite right there in the deep, deep dark, like that image of the dark side of the yin side of the yin yang symbol has that white dot, and allowing that white dot to light like a candle, like a spark, like a flame, like a nebula, like a star birthing out of a black hole, like the sun coming up in the morning each day freshly, and allow that light to emanate out into our community, into our world, in the way that we so choose, an artful way, a beautiful way, with the taming power of the small, the littlest thing, the lighting of that little candle, becoming an impulse that can change the whole of creation, because it's coming from the goodness, the idealism, the purity of our heart. That 12, that's the other side of this 11, purity. So the purity and the light coming together as we approach this solstice in this ring of light, just sharing this blessing with you.